All right, let's May 27th here. Hopefully we'll see. There we go. Connecting it up to YouTube. We'll see what we got here. So if there's anything you want to talk about, ask some questions for Fear the Walking Dead conventions, Walker Stalker news. I got some information about that. So yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what we got for this Sunday, May 27th, Memorial Day weekend here in the States. So how's everybody doing? Glad you can join me this Sunday. And I was under the impression that I'm going to Orlando next weekend, but I'm not going next weekend. I'm going in a couple weekends from now, so I will be able to do a live stream next Sunday. Just not the following Sunday, and another Sunday and a couple Sundays over the summer will be kind of tough for me to do it. But this Sunday, I will be able to do it, obviously, for this one and next week. So we got some information about Walker Stalker conventions, the Walker Stalker cruise, be next year. We got some stuff, not much to talk about Fear the Walking Dead as it's not on tonight, which kind of sucks. Not sure why they're giving it a break. I guess they feel like nobody's going to watch on this Sunday, but I guess we get a break, and then we got 2 more weeks, and then we'll have another break for that. So yeah, I should wear an eye patch, but it's kind of weird to watch with the glasses and an eye patch on there. I played around with it one time, and it was just awkward. It's just itchy and irritated for that, and it throws off your depth perception for sure, and to read something with one eye is not the best, so it's not a big fan for it. So great question, Paul Eagle, already. Does anyone think Maggie is killed, that Rick may live longer than... That's if Maggie is killed, that Rick may live longer than he's supposed to. I think Rick is going to be one of the people to the very end of the show, the series. Maybe not the last survivor, but towards the end for sure. He's got to outlive all those characters, right? But overall, guys, I think I'm excited for The Walking Dead Season 9. Not the most anticipation, but definitely up there. I was excited for Seasons 5 and 6. And the previous seasons, probably 4, 5, and 6, I was the most excited for. Season 7, obviously, to see who Negan picked, but Season 9, I'm excited for it, guys. I know there's not that many things going around, but there already is some good information going around for Season 9. They were filming at or around Alexandria. I think they were filming in Griffin as well. So we'll see what happens. It's either episode 2 or the start of episode 3, where they'll be back at Alexandria for a decent part of the filming, because they were setting up signs, but the weather has been pretty terrible for, filming. It's been bad in Florida. It's been bad there for sure. Tudor, how do you feel about Fear's fashion on the characters? They don't look like it's 2010. I don't know. A lot of people make, different concepts and ideas and have critiques on the way the characters look. Now, The Walking Dead is a comic, so you have to look somewhat like the comic characters. Fear the Walking Dead is a clean slate. It could be whatever they want. And now it's not 2010 right now. Their time jump is going to be all over the place. So their time jump as of now, whether then and now of season 4, is older than 2010. But I don't know. I don't really get caught up in the way they look, their dress and attire and stuff too. But some of it's pretty unrealistic. Like, I kind of feel bad for the characters and actors that have to wear long sleeves or layers in the summer months in Georgia. They say it all the time in different panels, but Tom Payne, who wears like a knit cap, long leather coat, pants, boots, it's just terrible to be wearing all the time. It's not a big fan rocking that in the heat of the summer heat. So they kind of give you that look because of Charlie Adlard draws it on a piece of paper. He's in an air-conditioned room on a piece of paper of a character. These characters have to put it there in the Georgia heat and look pretty similar to the comics. Now, Fear the Walking Dead doesn't have that for sure, so we'll see what happens. The promo for Whiskey Cavalier looks pretty bad. I think Cohen is hedging her bets. I'm not sure, Protected Lion. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. I'm pretty sure all these actors at some point want to be the lead of the show. You have Rick Grimes, and you have this, and you have that, but I would assume a lot of these actors want to be the lead person on different shows, whether it's The Walking Dead or Whiskey Cavalier or wherever they go for it. So I would assume if you're an actor, you want to be the star or have a big role for that. We'll see if Whiskey Cavalier sticks around. Hopefully it does not affect her being on The Walking Dead. I'm not too worried about Whiskey Cavalier. Probably won't even watch it, to be honest. But The Walking Dead, I will. So hopefully these characters can be around for a long time. Yeah, that's for sure. Georgia is no fun in the summer months for the heat. I like it in October when Walker Stalker is there. I like October months for, the South for sure. But what's up, DG? Do you think that the Vultures could be part of a bigger, better group? Boyd, I definitely think so. I'm not sure if Mel is the actual leader of the Vultures. He could be part of them. He could be the leader. He could just be a smaller part of the Vultures too. Not sure what's going to happen with that. Maybe Mel dies. I just hope John lives. That's the biggest thing. We won't find out tonight. We'll find out next Sunday. Kind of sucks that we got to wait almost unnecessarily, but Fear the Walking Dead does dumb stuff like that. We have to wait and wait and wait some more, and then wait this week because there's no episode on. Then we have to wait to see what happens with Madison. Still don't know about Daniel. Don't know how they got to from the dam to the stadium. Not sure how they met each other, how they saved each other. We just saw Madison come out of the water, and now we don't know if she's still alive. So we just don't know if Madison's dead or not. It would be too obvious if she was, because we haven't seen her in the now parts. Everybody thinks, is she dead? We don't know. I hope she is. That means she'll probably live because I hope she is. We'll see what happens with the character. But I think they need to get rid of her. I don't think she does anything great for the show. I know a lot of people like her, but more people dislike her more than like her. And that's pretty terrible for a show that you don't like the leading character. How can the show survive if you don't like the main people on the show? Doesn't make sense. But we'll see what happens with Madison and Kim Dickens on there too. So the Carl will return? No, I don't think Carl's coming around at all. I think Chandler Riggs is doing his own music and all that other stuff and other movies on there, but we'll see what happens for that. So let's see. In season 1, the cities were full of walkers. Do they migrate now? Washington in the season 9 promo seems dead. Well, we don't know. There's going to be walkers for sure, and there's going to be more and more walkers in the Whisperer herd or horde whenever we see them, but the walkers will still be a problem. Civilization, rebuilding civilization, the New Beginning storyline. Pretty sure it's been confirmed that the New Beginning storyline is what's happening when we return in Season 9, Episode 1. The crew has a hat that says Season 9, The Walking Dead, Season 9 crew, New Beginning, Angela Kang, stuff says on the hat. So I would assume the walkers will still be around. The Whisperers need walkers, so we will have that for sure. We will see them there as well. So I don't know. I mean, Michonne and Rick have zero chemistry and it's all political. I don't know where you're going with that, but ultimately I think that Michonne and Rick were a little forced because of the Andrea disconnection. And Michonne is kind of not the same character on the show as in the comic. There's some big differences with that character, but I don't mind Rick and Michonne being together, and I don't see any problem with that, but because Rick needs a love interest, and why not be Michonne, right? So it makes the most sense to have them be together, and it's a nice little difference from the comic and the show, and I want to see those little differences for sure. So hopefully we'll see what happens for it. So Brad, will you still make videos when Walking Dead comes to an end? For sure. I'm going to make different videos, and I don't think The Walking Dead's going to go away anytime soon. So we got Season 9 videos, we got Fear the Walking Dead videos, we have convention videos, bunch of different stuff. We'll have trailer stuff, we have video games, we have Marvel movies, reviews, just different horror, things, my book series. I hope to get more of those coming for more web stuff. The book series is going to go on for a long time. I don't see it ending anytime soon. So I got many ideas for many more books. So hopefully they can be turned into comic books or even a web series things or something for that too. So I think that makes sense. I think it's that's a big thing for me. Could Comic Michonne is the real alpha female of the apocalypse? Well, Carol is definitely an alpha female now, I would say. She's definitely transformed into that. Michonne definitely is. And I'd say Maggie is definitely up there too. So I hope they bring Ross back for the next Avengers movie, Avengers 4. It makes the most sense if it's the Soul Stone connection there. Maybe, not sure if they bring Gamora back, if she can come back. So maybe we see Ross. I think that too. So not sure what you're asking here with this question. So I don't know here, but hold on. Let me But yeah, I think that The Walking Dead Season 9 I'm excited for. Fear the Walking Dead hopefully picks up. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the series. For all the information going around for the filming, the tour, I know there's been stuff going on in Sonoy recently, so I'm excited for that to happen. I want to see Sonoy and Griffin and Georgia really expand with The Walking Dead. Maybe they can do some crossover stuff. Maybe they can there too. So let's see. I'm not sure why you're asking this. But yeah, so we'll get rid of that. I'm not sure what you're going with that, but people are pretty stupid on YouTube, that's for sure. So what's going on, guys? Got a bunch of people just joined, so that's pretty awesome. So hopefully you guys are having a good Memorial Day. If you're in the States, if you celebrate it or not, I'm not sure, but we do here in the United States, and I will be enjoying Monday off, so we'll get to relax and have a good time with that. Has anyone seen the older ones, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead by George Romero? I watched the Day of the Dead, the 1980s movie, and it's pretty interesting to see George Romero's take on there too. And it's definitely different from the 80s and where they're at now. I think it looks pretty cool. If you haven't, it's definitely cool to check out to see the way they were. I love the Dawn of the Dead, the remake with the Maul, and actually the guy who plays Mel on there. It's pretty cool. Hopefully they can do something with that. And I do like the idea of why Kirkman is making a comic, a zombie comic, because I do like the idea too, and that's what I kind of portray in the books, is that we want to know what happens after they get to the island or when they get away and how they escape on there too. Like, it ends. Well, what if we picked up at the end of it? And where would they go? What would happen with it? And that's what I kind of portray in my book series, and I know that's what Kirkman does in his comics. I like that idea of having that kind of be the series and the draw of it too, where they go for that. Not so much the cure aspect, not so much the rebuild civilization and do that aspect. It's like surviving. This is the way of the world now, and there's no coming back from it. That's kind of cool from it too. So yeah, I thought Dawn of the Dead was good. Hopefully you guys have been watching the other channel and the other videos and stuff like that. I'm really excited for Zombieland 2. I know Woody Harrelson was talking in an interview that, because Emilia Clarke, who's in Game of Thrones and also the Solo movie, has been talking about the Solo movie that came out on Friday. I have not seen it yet, but I heard it's pretty good. That she was talked about Game of Thrones and everything there too. And then Woody Harrelson was talking about the Solo movie, but also Zombieland 2. That they're going to probably start filming the early part of 2019 to hopefully have it done and released by October 2019. So that'll be pretty awesome. And I'm hoping Zombieland 2 comes out and it's pretty awesome for it. So yeah, Mel was definitely a Red-a-Cop in that movie. Yeah, I like Travis as well, then Madison. And it's not even that it's Madison, it's just the character of Madison. It's the lack of expressions and emotions and just feeling for this character that we should care about her. Because I don't. Like, I just don't. And it'd be better if she was actually gone in my eyes, for sure. Do you think Morgan saving Charlie will backfire? I don't know what's going to happen with that, but again, they're putting so much emphasis on this Charlie character and Morgan saving her from, I guess, Alicia and Luciana is the way they're going with it. I don't care to know more about that. I don't really care at all. Not sure why this kid is that much of a big importance, but that's the way they're going with the show, and we'll see what happens too. So, yeah. Awesome, Isaac. Good to have you on here for sure. So why isn't Fear tonight? Because they don't think tonight is a good episode time because of the holiday here in the States. Not sure they're doing. They're drawing it out more. So we'll have it the next week, and the next week will be episode 7 and 8, and then we'll have a break, and then we'll have 8 more episodes. And then by that time rolls up, Rick, I don't think so. I kind of don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see Madison meet Rick. I don't want to see Madison have anything to do with The Walking Dead. I don't want to see any of those things connect. I want to see The Walking Dead be The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead be separate, but then maybe have Morgan come back and bring John. That would be pretty cool. I think that's the only thing that I would want to see is the two connecting for sure. Looks like the Commonwealth will buy the Saviors against Rick. That's true. If you saw the previews of issue 182, I think that is pretty cool to see that the Miltons, or I guess Pamela Milton, is connecting with the Saviors to have that come around again. I don't know if that's good or not. I kind of would want the Saviors just to go away and we have to deal with the Commonwealth, but Kirkman's kind of recycling those stupid Saviors. So I think John will be fine, SS Vince DeSenta. I think John lives. I think Mel's going to go bye-bye, but I think John is going to live, and he better live because we kind of care about that character. I think he's the most important character. It's a shame because it's 4 seasons and he just came in, 6 episodes, and I already care more about John than any other character on this series. So I was thinking John's marathon is on. Yeah, I don't really care about the other stuff AMC does so much. I would rather have like a Better Call Saul marathon. Some things we'll see what happens with AMC, what they play on there, but I would love to see that actually. So yes, it would be a waste if John died, especially like this. But he should live, whether it's the Scrabble tin or a badge or a bulletproof vest, or he's protected somehow or whatever. Either way, John better live, and we better see what happens. So we don't know where Madison is. Not sure. There's no word where Madison is in the now timeline. In the then timeline, clearly something happens at the stadium, and it goes away. That's the way of the Fear the Walking Dead, where you can't even get half a season in one location. You had the boat for half a season, then you had the plantation for half a season. Now we have the stadium for half a season. So we'll see what happens with it. But Madison is MIA. I really hope she's gone for good on the series. That means she'll probably live all the way to the end of the series, just because that's what I would like to see, and a lot of people would. I just think the show needs to get away from that character and move on from it, but we'll see what happens. No idea where Madison is. I want to know where Daniel is. I want to know where Walker is. I don't want to know Crazy Dog. I don't want to see what happens. The connection from season 3 to season 4 has been minimal, lacking, very poor, and it's still got, 10 episodes left, but we have to see what happens. I still am holding out, but I'm not. The more and more we don't get answers, I'm not too excited for it, too. So, yeah, I'm going with her name is Naomi, actually, Boyd. I don't think her name is Laura. That's just what the name that John gave her, which is kind of weird, too. Like, I wouldn't meet somebody and be like, you look like a Steve. Yeah, you're going to be Steve when his name's actually, Kyle or something. That doesn't make sense, but that's what they do on the show. But we'll see what happens, guys. So if anyone knows me, they know that I go to the Walker Stalker conventions, and I've been on previous cruises. The final cruise for Walker Stalker is going to be next February 2019, from the 21st to the 25th, out of Tampa to Nassau. And I'm tempted to go. After last thing, I'm not too excited to go from the cruise and stuff. But it's out of Tampa, Florida in February, which is much better than New Orleans in January. So it should be better weather, better times. You go to Nassau, which is kind of cool. You can go to Atlantis and a couple things too. The only confirmed guest, celebrity guest right now, is Norman Reedus. But it looks to be the final Walker Stalker cruise coming there. So I think that it should be pretty awesome. We don't know any other guests, but we'll see when it comes there. Once we know more information, we will post there. Walker Stalker Atlanta. I'm not going to Orlando in August because I'm going to Orlando enough times for other trips to go to the Disney and that stuff. But we're going to go to Walker Stalker Atlanta in October, so hopefully I'll see some of you right there. So I'm going to go there, but it's just tough. Walker Stalker cruises are very expensive, time off to get all that stuff too. But hopefully I'll go and we'll get some good information and I'll be able to, share it with you guys. Every time I get information, I share it with you guys on this channel or the other one. If you follow me on Instagram, I post good pictures here and there. I was just at the Tampa Bay Rays baseball game. It was Star Wars Day, and they had a Funko Pop of one of the players dressed up as Han Solo, which is pretty cool. I have not seen Solo. Hopefully you have and you liked it, or you're going to, or whatever. I'm not sure. My friends have seen it. They said it was pretty good. So we're not sure what's up there too. So I'm not sure, Eye in the Dark 2, why it's the last one. We don't know what the confirmation is, why it is, but it seems to be the final cruise. I was thinking that it may be the final cruise on the Norwegian Pearl, because that's what all the other cruises were on, their Norwegian Pearl. But it looks to be the final cruise. It may be expensive. Walker Stalker may not be making that much money. Maybe the celebrities don't want to do it because Norman Reedus has been on every cruise. Maybe he doesn't want to do it for a variety of reasons. Jeffrey Dean Morgan just had another baby, so maybe he needs to be home a little bit more. Maybe something's happened with Norman Reedus. I'm not going to speculate, but there's been rumor news that maybe him and his girlfriend are having a baby together. So we'll see what happens with that. With Diana Kruger, there's been some speculation, so maybe he wants to be more home for that. I'm not sure. But either way, that maybe it's contract, right, Paulie? It could be contract stuff. Maybe Norwegian wants more money. Maybe Norwegian's getting away from those cruises because the boat is set up for audio, visual, concerts, stuff on the boat with the stage and the sound system for it. And maybe Norwegian's getting rid of it. So if they're getting rid of it, Walker Stalker can't do a cruise. But we'll see either way. Once we get more information, I will share it with you guys for sure. You think they will announce some news of spinoffs in this July? I'm not sure. I would hope so, Tudor. I think that I would love to see the Here's Negan spinoff, the Hilltop spinoff, the Kingdom spinoff, and just different things. Maybe even a Woodbury spinoff. That would be kind of cool too, going way back for it. I would love to see that too. I don't know, Protected Lion, I think Andy Lincoln wants to be private. He's got kids, he's got a wife. I think he wants to be home with his family, and it's tough for him to travel. He lives in London. He didn't go to Walker Stalker London. He was supposed to, but I think he backed out. And I think he just wants to be a private person. I don't think he really wants to go there. He's not as outgoing as Norman Reedus and a bunch of the other people, but either way, it's his choice, and I don't fault him for that. But the fans miss Andrew Lincoln for sure, and it's really hard to get a picture with him or even an autograph for sure. So, yeah, we don't know, Mega Dr. Dre, if Maggie only filmed. That's speculation right now that it was only a 6-episode contract. Maybe it's 6 episodes in the first half with only a couple in the second half. We don't know the specifics 100%, but I've seen the thing from, Deadline or Deadspin or whatever the contract actually was out there for that. But there is a lot of speculation that she may die because if you're only in 6 episodes, but she could have the Carl deal, right? Where Carl wasn't in that many episodes, but he was there for the whole season, but he only filmed a little bit and then didn't film and filmed for a little bit. Again, she's at Hilltop. We need Alexandria, the Sanctuary, Hilltop, various spots. So they might see a little bit at Hilltop and then we don't see them a little bit. But I just can't see the show losing Maggie Rhee. Lauren Cohan brings a lot to the table. I just don't see that happening for sure. I think that it makes the most sense to have Maggie be Lauren Cohan for a long time because if you know the comics, some big stuff is going to happen at Hilltop later this season into season 10. The comics, another war, another connection, another this, some big stuff is happening at the Hilltop, and we need Maggie Rhee to lead that for sure. I think that makes sense. So, yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Andy leaves his wife and kids to film from May to November. And that's a long time to not be around them. So to even be around them from that time, he doesn't want to lead them any longer than what happens. So he values that, and I don't fault him for that by any means. So, but I think that, Omar, great question. How are you liking Fear the Walking Dead so far? It's okay. This season is okay. I definitely like the additions of the new characters. I'm not liking the then and now storyline, the jumping around. It's kind of confusing for it. I'm not a big fan of them bringing up all these questions and not answering any of them. We're talking about 6 episodes, and we aren't sure about anything right now. We're getting more questions. Where's Madison? Is John going to live? What's up with Charlie? Where's this? Where's Daniel? How did they lose the stadium? Who's Mel? We haven't answered anything. And so hopefully we get some answers and it makes sense. But right now, it just jumps around a little too much for me. So In my Fight For Us series, do you have plans to reveal the cause of the apocalypse in your series? If not, do you have a cause in your mind? That's something I've been debating in my journal writing for, or my, note writing for the series. Am I going to know the part of it? Am I going to know what actually caused it? I think so. I mean, I mentioned here and there a little bit in the series, and I do have some things in mind for it, but sometimes it's better to leave it open-ended and have people talk about it, and then we eventually answer it down the road. I think it's one of those questions, like there won't be a cure type of thing, or maybe there will be. It's something that'll be ever evolving and changing. I think I have some good ideas connecting with shows and movies on there too, especially in Florida. If you know some things with Florida and the zombie apocalypse in movies, that may connect or show up as Easter eggs and connections down the road. Not 100% because it's got to be loosely based in that universe, in that world, but we can make some loose connections for sure, because I don't own any other part of the series besides my own. I can't really connect with them, but I can make little references and stuff on there for sure. So I think that'd be pretty awesome. I think it'd be pretty awesome to have a nice connection with a web series, and then, down the road would be awesome to have those TV show or movies and comics and all that stuff. But that's the dream. Hopefully one day it could be a reality. But either way, I'm enjoying writing it and having my connections with it too. So if you haven't checked out the series, guys, I'm extremely proud of that. Fight For Us, Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. So we got paperback and digital versions. My dad started reading it, and he's really excited about it, especially because he's in it. So it's pretty interesting for it. So, yeah, I agree, Omar, that Fear the Walking Dead has been more frustrating than rewarding this season. But hopefully the last 10 episodes make it rewarding for it too. So let's see what we got. So do you think that we will see a videotape of Abraham that Althea recorded? That would be pretty awesome, Boyd. Now that would be pretty cool. Would we see that? Probably not. I don't think the writers would connect that way. But also, I think that we would need Michael Cutlass. Maybe Cutlass was there and they filmed a little bit here and there. That would be pretty awesome if it said, or she has a tape at least that says Abraham's Army or something like that. That would be pretty awesome if we could see that. I would love to see that. And that would be an awesome thing. It's a simple thing, but Boyd's suggestion about having an Abraham recorded thing by Althea will be pretty awesome because they were in Texas. They came across the way. That would be pretty awesome. Not sure if it'll happen, but I agree with it. I think that would be pretty great. Will Morgan have to kill again, Mega Dr. Dre? I hope so. It's going to be an ever-evolving twist. Keep everyone alive, kill everybody. Keep everyone alive. Life is precious. Life doesn't mean anything to him. He has to clear, and he has to save. So, not sure, but I think it'll come back around. But we'll see what happens. Morgan with Charlie, Morgan with Nick, Morgan with Madison. We'll see, but I'm not sure. I hope so, Tudor. I hope the Negan spinoff does happen. It would make sense for the Here's Negan. Maybe you get 4 episodes, 6 episodes. It would be like a mini series. I would love to see that for sure. But we don't know what they're going to do. I think now that they want to focus on The Walking Dead, the show running, Fear the Walking Dead, connecting with all that, I think it makes the most sense to have spinoffs. They own Raleigh Studios, so they can show the Sanctuary. It's all set for the Sanctuary right now. I think they should do that, where Negan gets to Fear the Walking Dead. Here's Negan at the Sanctuary. We can see people at the Sanctuary. Maybe you could see Simon. Maybe you could see Dwight. Maybe you could see Laura, and maybe you could see people like that, or Rot, or whoever. Maybe other saviors. Maybe that guy we didn't see his face in season 6 when it was Daryl met Dwight, and we never saw the guy's face. And you're like, oh man, that's crap. Where is this guy? Who is this guy? Is this supposed to be Simon? Who is this person? But I've always said the government messed up in a virus when airborne had to be in the air. Yeah, exactly. That's a good theory. That's definitely something I have in my notes. I have a couple of different things where it was a virus. It was something connecting with, food supply. Or, yeah, exactly, Wade. That's exactly right, Paula. Wade. Maybe he would be in the Here's Negan thing. We never got to see the guy's face, so we'll see. Do you have any comic book Walking Dead stats? Statues? No, I don't have any of that stuff. I have the Rick Grimes color, the color tops, and then I have other characters. I have some Walking Dead comic little figures. Some of them glow in the dark, and some are cool like that. I've been putting a lot of those actually in the mystery boxes, and it's pretty cool stuff for that for sure. So, yeah. It's pretty cool to think of how it could start with a zombie apocalypse. You know, a lot of people think it's the government, the virus. You know, maybe it's just the end of era. Maybe it's the end of civilization. Maybe it's just Mother Nature. Maybe it's something that we did. Maybe it's man-made. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something that the earth and the world are striking back where it just affects humans and not animals. Because if you think about it, human beings are pretty terrible for the world and the earth. We're not doing much to save the earth. We're actually draining it and making it worse. And it's kind of using up all the resources here too. So it's kind of cool to see that. I like the idea of having that. Yeah, boy, that's the thing where Walter White is, that's the funny connection with Breaking Bad potentially being the startup of the zombie apocalypse of The Walking Dead. And Robert Kirkman probably said in a joking way, like he did on the cruise, that he buys into that theory that Walter White's blue meth started the zombie apocalypse on The Walking Dead because the timelines could match up. It was in Arizona versus California. You know, it could happen there. It could be branching out. So Walter White could have started that. That was the funny thing. I actually had that clip on the PT channel of him talking about it. But yeah, the Breaking Bad connection, that's a possibility for sure. So I think Maggie means more than Hilltop being a thriving community than Alexandria. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Maggie as a leader, with Gregory, with Hilltop, with the people there. I think it makes sense that we'll have some conflict with Gregory and the Hilltop, and it's pretty cool to see what they're going to do with the comic connection, if it's going to happen exactly the way it does or not. If there's going to be little differences, what's going to happen, predictions for who's going to live, who's going to die this season, because we know we're going to lose people. We should be getting some new characters, but we're also going to lose some characters. We always do. We always lose some people and gain some people and vice versa. But I think we need to thin the cast down a little bit. Right now, it's a little too big since season 6 and 7 and now 8 and then 9, and we'll see what happens. And we're adding characters just for the show, like Jadis, and you know, we'll see what happens for it too. So but I'm going to go for about another 20 minutes or so, and then we got to start cooking and making some stuff and cleaning and enjoying our Sunday. It's been raining here in Tampa for the past week. You know, it's been pretty crappy, so it's not a good beach weather or anything great like that. Hopefully you guys are having better weather around you guys. I know my dad back in New Jersey is going to the shore, which is a big thing now for Memorial Day weekend for it, but we'll see. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your weekend either way. But I like the idea of the season 9 being a nice reset button to the back the way it was. Like, I was thinking about it. Like, I was watching the Walking Dead marathon. It was the red, white, and blue marathon. It was 4th of July weekend, I believe. And they came out with all these things, and I think it was like only 4 seasons. So it was seasons 1, 2, 3, and it was coming back for 4 later that year, I think, or season 5. But I was excited because they were showing the episodes, and it was cool, and this, and the prison, and what they're going to do with all these characters, and then Michonne, and then they came out with her replica sword, and you're like, oh man, that's kind of cool. I want to feel like that again with The Walking Dead. I want to be excited for the new characters and the new twists and the new turns. I haven't really felt that way about the show in a while because it's just been kind of crazy to see where they're at and what they're doing, and then, you know, just little differences, and then the writing, and then what they do with it, and where they're going to bring the people around and get rid of certain characters. And, you know, whatever the reason is for getting rid of Carl, it doesn't make sense to where they're at. They're at the same point they would be if he was still alive. It just wouldn't make sense that he's gone. But we'll see. Exactly, Mega Dr. Dre. I agree. Hopefully, Jesus. I'm not sure if it's Tom Payne, or it's the writing, or the show adaptation of it, or it's just not translating that well to TV versus the comic. But I want to see, you know, Jesus take a bigger role. And I think he will, with the addition of, the Whisperers and the Walkers and Magna and stuff coming around. We'll hopefully see those parts where he does do more things and he's a bigger part and he's more physical and training and, being martial artist and stuff like that too, because he's definitely my favorite comic character. He's just not translated that well to the show. But I agree. I think season 6 was the best. And probably over the summer, I'll go revisit 4, 5, and 6 to touch up, because that's what Angela Kang wants season 9 to be like, season 4 and 5. And I think that makes sense because that they have to rebuild civilization, farm, crops, growing stuff like they did at season 4 at the prison. So it's kind of the same thing. We'll see what the new beginning looks like for season 9. But I have noticed a downturn in views on your channel's popularity of the show. Yeah, that's what happens. The Walking Dead goes away and people don't tune in to Walking Dead channels on YouTube more. And that's okay. It happens every year. It makes sense. But I'm still going to make tons of information. I talk about The Walking Dead year-round because of filming season. I think that The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, the comics, the universe, the conventions, information, just so much stuff going around is something I can talk about year-round. Plus, I talk about movie reviews and all that stuff. But when you were tagged as a Walking Dead channel and you talk about, Deadpool, you're not going to get that many views for it because so many people are used to you talking about The Walking Dead, which I'm trying to talk about my book series more and more and more, and make things for, the YouTube connection and my viewers and Patreon and all that stuff. And it's like pretty cool that I want to connect with. I want my Fight for Us connection to be big. I want it to be a big series and a comic and a book series and a show and this and that stuff. So I have aspirations for that. So I'm going to be getting more and more things. So we'll have YouTube stuff for it there too. I have not played State of Decay 2 because I'm a PlayStation person. That is just for Xbox. So I'm excited for Days Gone, which looks to be for a 2019 release. It's supposed to be the end of this year. Now it's going to be the beginning of next year. So we'll see what happens with Overkill's The Walking Dead. I'm hoping that game lives up to the hype. I'm still waiting for game footage. All we've seen is trailers. I want to make sure that it's worth buying and playing and stuff on there too. But I've seen some gameplay of State of Decay 2, and I'm interested in that. I'm just not an Xbox person. I'm a PlayStation person for sure. Haven't really played many video games since I've come back from Nashville and this and the bad weather and just trying to get all of our stuff together for it. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Alpha and Beta. I'm really excited to see for those castings, who they bring to the forefront of that. But I'm going to be talking about The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and all that stuff for a long, long, long time. I have other motivation factors and writing tips. Just kind of, I might be doing some more vlogs and stuff like that too. So I got plenty of content for that. So we'll eventually hope to be able to reach a lot of people. What worked for me, what hasn't, what I've learned, and just share those experiences through the YouTube channel in my videos and everything there too. So, Bri, what character of The Walking Dead do you think didn't bring anything to the show, or the show would have been better without? Not minor, main character. So the one that jumps out at me right now is Andrea and Heath. Not sure if Heath is considered a main character, but Andrea definitely was. The comic version of Andrea was far superior and far better than the show version. So I want to see, I want to see Princess on the TV series too. I want to see how crazy that character should be, kind of all over the place. But I would go with probably Andrea, and Heath are the ones that just jump out at me that are like, and then Jesus too hasn't really done that, but he did connect with Hilltop and do his parts with that, and I just thought he would be a little bigger, better character for it. So I still love the characters. I think they do a great job with it. I liked the idea of changing things up. I do like the idea that they have show written parts like Daryl Dixon, like Jerry, like Simon, like Tara, like that's pretty cool. The Dixon brothers and everything. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But yeah, Andrea's version was just terrible. Watching that stuff was like, I don't like this part. I don't like this character. Her and the governor and all that stuff, that was just made up for the show, and it's not really there too. Yeah, no, well, Heath is just bigger than in the comics than in the show. Like, he's been MIA since season 7, episode 6. And before that, he was MIA. And so he hasn't really done anything like that too. But that's true. For every character that they haven't really done well, Carol, awesome. Michonne, awesome. Daryl, awesome. Jerry, love him. You know, there's certain, but Morgan, I like the Morgan show character than the comic character for sure. And it's just kind of cool that they have little differences and sometimes big differences for that. And overall, I think they do a great job. And I just want The Walking Dead to be awesome television again, where I'm excited for every Sunday. And I have been. Season 8 I thought was pretty good. I think it's just the idea of losing certain characters and the writing and the tangents that they're trying to do. But, you know, we're coming up on season 9 and stuff happens. Where contracts, money, just stuff gets in the way. Actors, demands, sets, you know, locations, what they can do, what they can bring to the show or not. So we'll see what happens, but overall, I'm excited for the season 9 of The Walking Dead, and hopefully the last 10 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead do well. Hopefully you guys have checked out the Walking Dead rewards, TWDrewards.com. They got some cool stuff on there, and I'm saving up my points to hopefully get one of the once-in-a-lifetime experiences. So I'm trying to get one of those, and I've been trying to save up my points to get something really awesome, and hopefully you guys too, because it does. You can get some good points too, especially with saving up your points. Do you think that Naomi knows where Madison is? Yeah, I think Naomi and Madison's. I think seeing Naomi and not Madison, they're connected with each other. So because Naomi and Madison had some disagreement in the last sneak peek. So hopefully we'll find out in episode 7 and then episode 8, and then it'll be a break and we'll see. And they'll probably leave us with a little cliffhanger to see what happens. But we'll see what they do for it too. So yeah, before the apocalypse, Daryl's life was an episode of Justified. Yeah, Daryl's had it pretty rough. And I want to see, you know, different Daryl. Like, I know he's been changed by the Saviors, but now the Saviors are really gone. They're not really there much of a threat as of right now. So we'll see what happens with Daryl, and hopefully we get some more of the Daryl, you know, being a badass Daryl. Daryl and Carol together taking out some people. So Corey Hawkins is great. I love Corey Hawkins in Straight Outta Compton. That King Kong movie was pretty terrible, but he was okay in it. And overall, Corey Hawkins is a very good actor. Hopefully it makes sense if and when he comes back. Hopefully we see him this season. I don't want any more loose ends, you know what Abraham said. But Morales came back around, so why can't Heath? Why can't Sherry? Why can't certain characters like that, right? So I hope Heath comes back around and it makes sense and it's rewarding, you know? I want the payoff to be worth it. Because I know that it's frustrating when you watch this stuff and it's like, what the heck? So that's what I try to do in my book series as well. I make it rewarding. So when you read from the first book to book 6, book 7 is doing really well in the edit phase right now. Should be out, I'm hoping for July, maybe the beginning of August at the latest. But July is looking more and more for that. And then book 8 will be out before Christmas this year, so for sure. When you meet cast members, do you mention you are a leading YouTuber for the shows? No, I don't really talk to them at all. I just, actually, when I met Abraham and stuff, I was talking to him a little bit, and I said, I miss you on the show, and good luck with everything, and found that he used to be a visit in New Jersey and stuff like that. And when I met Ezekiel, he said, it was right when he hurt his shoulder, and I think he broke his hand. And I asked him about how his shoulder was doing, and I'm a physical therapist and like that. And he's like, yeah, I'm about 80% better, and he's getting there, and he's feeling pretty good. And when I talked to Shane, John Bernthal, we talked about Punisher and stuff, and he loved my hat. It was pretty cool stuff. So now, so I just kind of like the anonymity sometimes that I'm not, you know, I'm a YouTuber, but I want to kind of just get to talk to these people because sometimes they might be afraid to say anything. If they know I'm a YouTuber, we're on there too. So, do you believe Dwight will follow his comic connection? I think so, but I would love to see the Dwight show Dwight be connected with the Whispers instead of the Saviors, which might be pretty cool. And I kind of think that may happen about it too. So I think Dwight will be up in the air, because Daryl and Dwight being connected in this universe is something totally different for the show. That doesn't happen in the comics, so how can they go about that? That's kind of uncharted territories after the war, because Dwight kind of does a big thing with the Saviors, and I don't know if that's going to happen. We just don't know who's going to lead the Saviors. I would actually love to see Laura or someone else lead the Saviors. I think that would be pretty cool. And then there's some conflict with Laura. Maybe Sherry comes back around. Maybe the Whispers have some other conflict. We'll see. I'm not sure how much they're going to actually have verbatim from the comic to the show, but I would love the little twists and turns. And I don't think we need Tobias Boyd, but Tobias could come around. I wouldn't mind seeing Tobias be on the Fear the Walking Dead. That would be pretty crazy if Tobias saw Madison, and that would be pretty interesting. So, Tobias is busy. Yeah, I don't know. And when I see Tobias, I think of the guy from Deadpool 2, too. I just think that's what he grew up to be. I think that's what happened to him on there, too. What happened to the pet dog in Alexandria? Great question. Not really sure what really happened with a lot of those people from Alexandria. They kind of just went by the wayside. You know, someone asked me about Mikey all the time, and I'm like, no one cares about this character Mikey. A lot of people don't even know Mikey still exists. Would you like to see a Netflix zombie show or an alien show? Do you have one recommended, Dylan, or are you just saying in general? Because I would actually love to see, this is going to be off topic, but the Cobra Kai show from the Karate Kid, it's on YouTube. I would love to see that on Netflix, actually, because it'd be a little easier to watch. But I would love to see a Netflix zombie show for sure. Maybe they could pick up my series, Fight For Us. That would be awesome, Netflix. Let me know. But no, I would love to see something like that too. I like Stranger Things and stuff like that for Netflix, and Netflix is pretty awesome, and hopefully they get more and more stuff on there. But hey, man, you never know. You could pick up Fight For Us, and that could be my zombie show on there. That would be pretty amazing on there too. But I'm going to go for about another 10 minutes, guys. Hopefully I'm answering your questions on there. But I'm excited for this summer. June looks to be pretty awesome movies. I'm really excited for Incredibles 2 and the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the second one on there. Those are 2 June movies, and then later this year is X-Men Dark Phoenix, I believe, too. So I think that'd be pretty awesome as well. Yeah, Dylan, I think my book series would really translate really well to a TV show. That would be pretty amazing. I just don't know how to go about it, to contact someone or do that on there too. So that would be pretty amazing. Maybe down the road when I get a little free time, because it's so crazy where my life is with the books and the writing and physical therapy and homeowner and cat, just so many things. But I'm going to look into it for sure. That's definitely something that I think would be pretty amazing, and that would be a dream come true if that ever happened. And it would be like surreal on there too. I'm not going to San Diego Comic-Con, but I thought about going to Tampa Bay Comic-Con, which is in August. San Diego Comic-Con is expensive for tickets, and I would have to fly and do all that stuff to get on there too. But San Diego Comic-Con, guys, that's July. I'm excited for the trailer of the Walking Dead. Some big news, some information on that too. Hopefully we get some cool stuff. I'm also excited for E3, which is coming up very soon. That would be pretty awesome there too. I have not seen the show Colony, Dylan. I know, I heard it's decent. I know Sarah Wayne Callies, who played Lori on the show, is on there too. Yeah, and some people like that show, Colony, on the USA Network on there for sure. Do you think Telltale games could adapt to the screen? I don't think so. I think it's a good video game kind of connection on there too. Also, speaking of the Telltale games, did you see the Clementine art that was on the wall? It said Clem on Fear the Walking Dead. People have been asking me about that, and it's just someone's daughter on the set made that and put it up. So I don't think it's actually a reference to Clem from the video game, but that would be pretty awesome if it was. But that word is saying that it was just a daughter of one of the people who worked for the show. Cargo started a YouTube short movie. Maybe that's your way, bro. Yeah, I know. That would be pretty awesome. My friends that are into making movies and stuff like that live out of state. I would love to have that. I would love to have my friends be involved on there. So it's just one of those things that maybe down the road. And that's where I was kind of running into trouble writing these books that I would write, and then publish it, where the edit needed to take precedent. And that would kind of be kind of a thing here with making movies and short stories and short films and maybe a web series for that. But I think that would be pretty awesome to do. I have ideas how to do it. Can use my house, can use there, but my friends are out of state, so they're not locally right here, and I would want them to be involved for sure because they're my good friends that are, loosely based on the books, and I would want them to be involved every which way down the road. You think that Negan will finally be humble now that Rick spared him and he's showing him the way? Yes and no. I think Negan's going to be Negan. I think Negan's going to be interesting to see what his connection is with Rick going forward. How does he get out? How does he break out of that? Because they ain't going to keep him in that jail cell the entire time. We'll probably see a little Negan here and there at the first half of the season, but probably more in the second half, I would assume. Because I've been reading my compendium of the Walking Dead comics, and you don't really see the next big bad villains for a while. After issue 127, you don't see them really come around until 130, 138. So that's 3 to, episodes or issues later. And then another big one is like 10 or 11 episodes or issues later. So that might be the second half of the season. So we'll see what happens. So do you think Althea will record Naomi saving John? Yeah, I don't know. She's just recording the gun battle. Like, one, it's a little dangerous, and two, it's kind of weird to see her shooting a gun for that too. So, would you like to do a collaboration with any other YouTuber? Yes and no. I talked to a couple YouTubers when I was first starting, and they were pretty, just say, not forthcoming and not really cool about it. And so I was like, no, I'm not cool with that. So I wouldn't mind doing collaborations with other YouTubers that make sense, but I'm open to it for sure. Because again, this is a Walking Dead community and a Walking Dead family. It doesn't even have to be Walking Dead related, but I think that would be pretty awesome if we had some big, that would be pretty cool if there was like a panel and there was a bunch of YouTubers up there, and we talked about things and did that and all that stuff, and that would be pretty awesome. If there was a Walking Dead community panel at a YouTube convention, I think that would be pretty awesome for it. But I'm all about talking with you guys, and because some people get, arrogant or just really not forthcoming to a lot of people. I think that to do it right and to be connected as a community and a family makes the most success. I think it's not a competition. It's a connection and a correlation of it. Some people don't see it that way, but, I don't have any bad feelings for people, even though nobody was really helpful and still haven't been really helpful. But overall, I try to be for, my Walking Dead family and, Walking Dead friends on here for sure. But overall, I like to talk with everybody, including yourself and everybody here and everybody connected with The Walking Dead. Pretty awesome for it. So actually, Omar, I've never seen Gotham more than one episode, and it was a little too crazy over the top for me. But I know people like the Gotham show. I heard that it's ending. I know some people are upset about that, and I know a lot of those actors go to conventions. I like the idea of them being there, and they do really well. I think that the Gotham people are really nice. I know the guy who plays Penguin, and also he was on The Walking Dead, and people love that guy. And it's pretty cool to see them at conventions. I've actually never met them because I don't see the show, so I don't really see the relevance for it, but it's pretty cool. And yeah, I know, DG, that YouTubers' opinions collide a lot, and that's okay, but you have to be respectful for it. I'm not saying that everyone needs to like my opinions or to agree with my opinions, but you need to respect them. And I respect other people's opinions in life, online, and in general. And that's where a lot of people don't on YouTube. They're very disrespectful when someone says, oh, you're this and you're that, and blah, 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 blah. I have nothing but respect for people in there too. When someone comes at me or comes in against me in a way that doesn't, have constructive criticisms on there too, I have zero tolerance for that. But overall, YouTube and people have different opinions, and that's okay. And I think that's the way of the world, and that's great. We need to see that. We need to have that. Not everyone needs to have the same kumbaya, all life is great kind of thing, but I'm a real person. I don't like certain things about Fear the Walking Dead, and I tell you that. I say that there's problems here, and I give you my opinion. I'm not going to say, oh, it's great, I love it, this was great, Naomi was great, Madison, you're such a great character, blah, blah, blah. No, if I got a problem with it, I'm going to say it. But I still watch the show, I support the show, I carry on with it, and I've been a viewer from the very beginning of Fear the Walking Dead. Some people don't like it, some people are there, and they're saying I'm too hard on it. I'm just being a realistic person. And sometimes people may, take my tone and sarcasm and opinion as that I hate it. I don't hate it, I just get frustrated with it. And I'm just being real, that's for sure. Just liking that too. I'm thinking that I like the idea of being a regular person. And remember, this is YouTube. This is a powerful connection and a good way to reach a lot of people. You can do it for good reasons and for bad reasons too. Like some YouTubers out there are just over the top and they're cursing and all that stuff. Like you don't know who watches your videos. It could be 12-year-old kids. I'm not a father, but I am a therapist and a person that cares about that. And I know that people watch YouTube of all ages. And if someone's cursing and disrespecting people and doing, bad stuff, that's going to be a bad example, because that's not what I would want my kids or my nieces or nephews to watch on there too. And I would want to be that for that. So I think that I like the idea of being real though. I'm not a fake, phony person, and I don't like fake people. And that's what people do. I knew that people since middle school and high school and in life, where they would be okay with somebody, and the minute that person would walk away, they're like, man, I hate that guy. And you're like, well, why did you act like you were friends with him? That's not cool. I'm not a big fan of that. But either way, The Walking Dead family, and you guys are awesome. I love the idea of having that community feel for it. Anything worth doing in life is worth doing with people, whether it's your friends, your family, or people of like-mindedness. That's why I like the idea of having my connection in my fight for a story being one of that, of community, of civilization, of people, of problems, of uniting. My second book is called Reunited for a reason. And every book and every chapter title means something and makes sense. It just comes back around. Because I don't like when shows like Fear the Walking Dead, or even The Walking Dead sometimes, they go around and they scoot in circles and they have bottle episodes and they don't progress things and they don't do that. They bring up more questions and there's loopholes and there's plot holes and plot problems. And you just wasted your time sometimes. It's not rewarding. But overall, my series and anything I want to be involved with, I take what I like and what I don't like and tweak it and make sure that I would like this story to be read the way it does or to progress that way. And I know there's storytellers and there's movie writers and the things and stuff happens, but when we're writing a book and you're writing those things and you're watching something, you want to be rewarded, right? If you were reading something and you invested your time, whether it's a comic or show, a movie, whatever, you want to feel like you have the story from beginning, middle, and end, and it makes sense, I think that that's what you would want. I just think that it makes sense for people to be rewarded for putting their time, effort, and energy in. And that's what I hope people are excited about the channel, the books, and the future of everything. And I think that's not too much to ask from The Walking Dead movies and shows and series and stuff like that. It's just kind of there. But there you go, guys. I'm going to go for another minute or two. So if you got any more questions, I'll rapid fire answer them. But hopefully you are enjoying this Memorial Day weekend, or just this Sunday if you don't celebrate that. Are you watching the basketball? The Stanley Cup Finals start on Monday. The Lightning lost, Tampa Bay Lightning, so they're out. It's a shame. I'm excited for Game 7 of the Warriors-Rockets. I watched that game last night. And then also the Cavaliers-Celtics. We'll see. This is the first time since 1979 that they have 2 Game 7s to go into the finals. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty cool stuff. I'm excited for that. I got a show on TNT called Animal Kingdom. That starts on Tuesday, and I'm excited to watch that. That's a good kind of crazy show for it. So that's yeah. So they should cut down 12 episodes. We'll see how they do it, guys. But I'm excited for season 9. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't party too hard. Don't go crazy for Memorial Day weekend. I will see you guys next Sunday right here on YouTube on the Walking Dead News channel. We'll have many more movies and news and episodes on there too. If you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all that good stuff, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Remember, guys, like, share, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to the Walking Dead News channel, but also our other channel, the PT channel. And guys, with hard work, dedication, and belief, you can do it, no matter what it is. If it's going to school, writing a book, drawing, career change, career path, start getting a job, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You can do it. Just believe in yourself. Don't stop. Just take rest breaks when you need to, and don't get frustrated. Believe in yourself. If you can dream it, you can do it. And thanks for watching, guys.